Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. Welcome back, beautiful souls, if you are returning. Welcome if you're new. Today we are asking, how will your situation unfold? Now this can be any situation, and I would suggest that you really keep it in mind. Keep the circumstances, the situation, the relationship, whatever it is, keep it fully in your mind. Really center yourself. Maybe even really meditate into the space of that possibility, that potential, as you choose which of the readings is calling to you. And if you find you're drawn to more than one, there may be more than one answer here for you. So beautiful souls, I hope everything is going well in your worlds. We have 3 piles to choose from. As always, I will put the timestamps in the description below and in a comment, and I'm also going to list all of the cards that I'm using. So we have, for pile 1, we have the card of joy. Let me show this to you. So this is for pile 1. And for each of the readings, making themselves heard, we have some shells. They're really beautiful. So this is the shell for pile 1. Okay, that's the inside of it. Really beautiful shell. So that's pile 1. Pile 2, your card is treading carefully. This is for pile 2. And for pile 2, this is the shell. It's a little glass shell. You can see that. So that's for pile 2. And for pile 3, we have returning. This is for pile 3. And we are asking today, how will your situation unfold? This is the shell for pile 3. Beautiful little shell, so perfect. That's the inside of it as well. So that is for pile 3. Now, my beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a little bit longer in case you would like a little bit more time. Take as long as you need. Press the pause button if you need even more time. And I will see you in the readings. Pile 1, welcome to your reading. The fact that you have the card of joy, I mean, this is a card of great fortune, lake above, lake below. It kind of suggests that whatever is going on around you, you're going to come out the winner. But let's find out, how will this situation unfold? Whatever this is for you, let's discover more about it. May we kindly ask for pile 1, how will this situation unfold? I'm actually seeing this one for you. We have Molly, do you know, I'm having trouble pronouncing this. Molybdenite, I think is how it is said. This is a crystal card. I will, let me just move all my little books out of the way. Let's see what else we have for you. Your oracle cards, we'll draw these first. We have Devote. Oh, wow. Look at the heart guiding your ship. Goodness me. This is definitely a reading that's saying follow your heart. That is absolutely for sure. There's a flow of really, really amazing energy around you. We have the card of complacency. We have prayer. And we have trickery. Ooh, this is getting to be really, really, really interesting. Okay, wow, follow your heart is coming through. And I want to say, don't be complacent. Now, I want to draw your tarot cards before we really dive fully into this reading. But you know, the very first thing I'm actually going to do is read to you about this crystal, because these are such specific messages within this book, you know, really fabulous messages. So here we go. Molybdenite. Okay, a message from the stars. Wow. Your life is always held in perfect equilibrium by the divine natural order that exists within all creation. Believing that you have somehow failed or made the wrong decision or choice is simply an illusion. There is nothing you need to change or fix in your life apart from your sometimes unbalanced perceptions, mainly your self-criticism. Know that you are always worthy of love and you are eternally blessed. Start to accept all of who you are as you are, and you will see your life magically and lovingly transform. All is in perfect divine order. From a spiritual perspective, there are no mistakes in life. Every experience is a lesson in love and wisdom. Now, this is really interesting because the prayer card here also speaks about a situation where sometimes it looks as though the grass is, you're kind of questioning, is the grass greener? Is there a better option? That's actually what's coming through here. Is there a better option? Would there be a better option than what's available? I think the trickery card actually, maybe you deceiving yourself in some way, shape or form. Perhaps deceiving yourself in your own self-worth or your own worthiness to have something. Let's draw your tarot cards and get more information. How will this situation unfold? I feel in many ways how this situation unfolds, interestingly enough, is possibly down to your personal choice. But let's check this out. We can explore the options for you as well, if that is the case. Let's see what else shows up in your reading, my beautiful pile ones. Okay, you have the Six of Wands. Now this is a card of visible success, and yet I see you leaving. Leaving either a community or a group of people. We've got the Two of Wands, which is very much about the energy of new beginnings. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Wow. We've got the Seven of Wands. I'm seeing you tormenting yourself in terms of decisions. Ace of Swords. Six of Pentacles. Knight of Pentacles. Wow. And then the card of Temperance. Gosh, sometimes the card of Temperance can really indicate sort of divine guidance and just literally your path unfolding. I feel like maybe you are faced with a decision, and I think there's a lot of dilemma around it, which might of course be why you are asking, how will this situation unfold? Curiously enough, what the energy is picking up on in the immediacy is actually about you and your decision. I wonder whether you are allowing yourself to follow your heart or not, whether you are questioning something, deceiving yourself in terms of what, or just overly worrying about how something might be. I think it's a big decision, mind you. You know, the card of complacency really does advise you not to miss an opportunity. I feel like you could be trying to talk yourself out of something. I think there's an amazing opportunity in front of you. Whatever your situation is, I think it involves a decision. And I think you are a little bit tangled in making that decision. Hence asking, how will this situation unfold? In many ways, what your reading is saying is, how on earth will you know unless you actually give it a go? How will you know how it will unfold if you don't dive in? It's like loving for the sake of love. Daring to go for it just because you can. What we do see with the Nine of Pentacles, it's a very earthy card, and yet whenever I look at this card, I feel like we're looking at somebody who's almost underwater, immersed in something. And with the card of Devote, this is like doing this because you can, not missing. Gosh, I think there's an opportunity in front of you, and if you don't go for it, in all honesty, if you kind of try to tell yourself that there may be a better option just around the corner, or maybe Yeah, or maybe something else will show up. I just feel that this almost feels like a yes/no reading, actually, in a strange way. It's in which case this is a yes. Go for it. It's got that flavour. How will this situation unfold? I'll draw more cards to find out for you. We'll draw more cards to see if you really go for this, if you immerse yourself in this, if you stop deliberating and stop trying to talk yourself out of it and stop trying to think about all the things that could go wrong and contemplate all the amazing things that could go right. I'm not saying look at this with an idealized perspective, because that there are real elements within the choice that you're making. There's a realness to this. But I feel like you are trying to talk yourself out of something, or there's a lot of self-doubt or self-criticism going on. The fact of the matter remains, this is like the sword of Excalibur. You'll never know you'll never know if something is right for you unless you kind of grasp the sword and go for it. This is the sword that the young King Arthur drew from the stone, and so many people had come along, these amazing strong knights and knights in shining armor, and all these people who believed that they were going to be King Arthur came and tried to get the sword out of the stone, and they couldn't, even though they had every strength available to them. And then along comes a small boy who gets the sword, and it just magically comes out of the stone. Well, the reason it magically came out of the stone was because he was the true king. That was his purpose. This was his calling. This was his destiny. This is why he came here. And I feel there is a situation in front of you that you could really, really try to talk yourself out of. And I think if you did, you would regret it forever. Now, that's a big statement to make, because ultimately no reading will ever tell anyone what to do. You have conscious free will and choice. But this is a card of success, visible success. He looks really determined, though, and I think part of the challenge with your circumstances is that I think it means perhaps leaving something behind. It means, I don't know what it means, leaving behind, but I do feel it means, I think it's a very significant change for you. But I think your reading is saying, how on earth are you going to know if you don't dive in? And what that your reading is tackling initially is the element of self-doubt, and the element of self-criticism, or the element of there might be something better just around the corner, so maybe I should wait. This is really saying there is something here for you that could unfold in a big way. It feels like it's part of your destiny, part of your calling. I think this is quite magical, actually. I notice as well with the card of Temperance, her hair, the way it's just blown. We've got birch trees as well in the background, symbolising a whole new phase of life. I actually do think this is a remarkable opportunity. Whatever your situation is, I think there is a remarkable opportunity in front of you, and it is loaded with love. Let us draw more cards just to see how, let's say you get out of your own way, how might this unfold? Okay, so we have the Two of Swords. How interesting. We have the Queen of Wands. Oh wow, look at all the signs, the signals, the synchronicities. How might this unfold? Assuming my pile one get out of their own way. Seven of Pentacles. There's a lot of joy in that one. Wow. Gosh, this is like a return to sort of innocence almost, or purity, or we have the Five of Wands. May we kindly ask, this is interesting. And then we have the Page of Cups. Right. What I have to say, my beautiful pile one, is it genuinely is a big decision. Now, I think that you can turn this around. It may be, whatever your situation, I do think that there will be some challenges within it. And maybe that's also why, I was thinking maybe you have to leave something behind. It may not be as simple as leaving something behind. I think that it may also be that there are things that have to be faced within this pathway. And I think that's part of the dilemma we're being shown here in asking for more information. The lake above, lake below, the joy card, literally kind of basically says, look, love can overcome everything. Joy, never, ever, ever underestimate the power of joy. Joy can overcome everything. I mean, let's say you had met somebody, for example, but your community didn't, I don't know, maybe they're not your usual type, or your community didn't agree with them, or you want to move because you've been offered an amazing job, but it means upping sticks and moving, and people don't want you to move. There's some conflict or challenge here. And I think that your joy will overcome any of the difficulties that that need to be surmounted here. And even with this beautiful child here, there's two little goblins sitting here. So this does feel like it's with these two goblins sitting on either of these rocks, either side. Let me show this to you a bit more close up. Can you see? We have a child. This is the purity of love. And then you've got these two sort of goblins or almost demons. And this is about choice. What do you really want? I actually think there is this opportunity. I think deep in your heart, I think you know that you would like to pursue it. There could be quite a lot with the trickery card. I felt like you could talk yourself out of it. It could, for some of you, also mean that other people might try and talk you out of it as well. But truly, I believe this is a challenge that there's no challenge here that you can't overcome. I think the joy that you experience from this situation will override any potential criticism, whether that is within you or coming from external sources. I think anything and everything can be overcome. For you to, it's like the universe has your back. Look at all these runic symbols with the Queen of Wands. And the Queen of Wands can transform anything. She has the capacity almost to shapeshift energy with her passion, her creativity, her spark. So whatever conflicts or dilemmas you feel there are, whatever anyone else thinks, whatever you think internally, truly, love will win the day with the Page of Cups. Honestly, love will smooth everything over. And I think if you dive in, excuse me, I think if you dive into this opportunity, it looks to me as if it has phenomenal promise. And because I think it is genuinely a pathway of love, I think it will smooth all barriers and overcome. I think all barriers can be overcome to whatever this is and whatever your situation is. Pile 1, this is your reading. Thank you so much for being here. I mean, this feels exciting. It's not without its challenges, but whether those challenges are from within or from without, I think there is nothing here that can't be overcome by the power of joy and the power of love. Wow. Talk about a relationship reading or a situationship reading where the higher vibration of everything we can be as human beings in our current upgrade is panning out. How amazing is this? Pile 1, this is your reading. I'm sending you all the love in the world. Keep me posted. Let me know what's happening in the comments. Tons of love. Thank you so much for liking, sharing, subscribing. Don't forget to press the little bell icon as well as subscribe if you want to make sure you never miss a reading. Tons of love, Pile 1. Pile 2, welcome to your reading. You have the card Treading Carefully. Just make sure this camera is focusing properly. I hope that's good. Do you know what's coming through here is the jewel in the crown. It's just coming through with this little shell here. Let's draw your oracle cards and your tarot cards. How will your situation unfold? Let's get information and guidance for you. How will your situation unfold? Do you know there are two cards coming through for you? You have rhodochrosite and lapis lazuli. How interesting that you've got two cards. Okay, let's see what else we are shown for my beautiful pile 2. Stretch and expand. Oh, I'm seeing you diving in. However, doing so cautiously as well, or carefully. The jewel in the crown, I think that's you. You have wisdom and you have grief. Okay. Something needs to be nurtured, or there's a process to go through to get to where you're going, my beautiful pile 2s. Now, before I draw your tarot cards, I'm going to read to you from the book about these crystals, because the information and guidance is amazing in this book, and it's so, just so specific as well. So, rhodochrosite, I think that is how we say this. Okay, relationships, compassion, blessings, love and joy. It is through our relationships with others that we learn more about our own character. From a higher perspective, everyone we encounter is a reflection of ourselves, and the universe has placed around us the things that will help us to expand, to expand our love and tolerance. We meet people we like and people we dislike. When we see what we consider to be positive traits in others, we align with these. With these characteristics, my apologies, because we believe them to be good. Yet when we see what we consider to be negative aspects in others' characters, we refuse to see those same traits in ourselves because we judge them as bad. Yet the truth is that we each have traits within us, either currently or in the past. Otherwise, we would not be able to recognize these traits in another. You are being urged to examine the traits you don't like in others, and rather than merely judge them as bad or avoiding them, look at what they reflect. I think you can grow through something. Okay, lapis lazuli. Let's read about this. Lapis lazuli. Protection. Power, expansive thinking. How amazing. We've got so much expansive energy around you. Lapis lazuli is a highly spiritual crystal that helps cut through illusions and expands your thinking in ways that serve to empower you. Is it not time to let go of an outmoded way of thinking or a belief system which no longer serves you? Remember, you are eternally protected and there is nothing to fear, so just be yourself. You will soon find yourself thinking outside the square, and in doing so you will begin to unlock your true and unique potential. Be a leader, not a follower. Dare to be different, and success is yours. You have the ability to mentally and emotionally rise above all that you encounter in life, and in doing so, a clearer picture emerges. Okay, treading carefully. It's very interesting because this card does speak about somebody who comes from quite a humble place, rising and expanding and excelling. But there may be people around you who are used to you behaving in a particular way, or they expect you to respond in a particular way, or they expect to be in a position of power and you're rising into your own power. There's definitely a situation that you need to navigate. So we're asking, how will your situation unfold? You definitely need to navigate it, but you are being protected and guided, and you are definitely moving, kind of almost like rising above something or coming through something. I think we need to get a lot more detailed information. Let's draw your tarot cards first. May I kindly ask, please, for more guidance and information? How will the situation unfold for my pile 2s? How will this situation unfold for my pile 2s? Let's look at these cards and see what we have. So you have the Page of Swords. We then have, well, the Sun. You're definitely needing to take a lead in something. And the timing is really right with the High Priestess. But I want to say, look at her, she's very much in the shadows. How interesting, you've got a card that we see strongly the energy of the Sun, but we also see strongly the energy and the essence of the Moon, of intuition around the High Priestess. We have the Queen of Cups and we have the Wheel. We have the Two of Wands, we have the Seven of Wands, we have the Eight of Pentacles, and then we have the Queen of Pentacles. I wonder if we can move these along, squeeze everything in. I think we can do that. Yeah, just about. Pretty much that's going to work. Perfect, pile 2. Perfect, perfect. Right. I think in the current situation you are in, things are going to turn, and they're going to turn in your favour. However, you are needing genuinely to navigate this, what I would call steadily with adaptability, with flexibility. I think there is a situation where you're meant to actually be stepping up and excelling. You know, being seen, being guided. You need to trust your intuition. I'm going to draw more cards around this for you, my beautiful pile 2. I think there's possibly envy or jealousy of you rising, of you shining, of you being the jewel in the crown. And I think, you know, maybe even people literally giving you grief. Or maybe there is also some vulnerability around some of you as well. This is quite a complex reading. Your situation is not, in one way, it's very straightforward. You are meant to step up. You are meant to be moving into a position of leadership. You're meant to take charge. You are moving into, basically the wheel is turning in your favour. You're moving into a space of visibility, of prosperity. Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles, of harmony, of abundance. Your world is moving forwards. That's actually here, and it's very, very clear. Something in your world, in your situation, is unfolding in a really, really powerfully positive way. It feels like it's the jewel in the crown. So this is really, really exciting. For some reason, there is some kind of an envy or you know, something that feels, or maybe this is either a challenge within you or it's around you. I'm going to actually draw more cards for you and find out a little bit more about this. Because everything here is suggesting that you move forwards, but it's also suggesting that you move forwards with humbleness and carefulness. Tread carefully. It's almost as though the territory you're moving into, I don't know whether it's new territory or people haven't seen you in that way before, or you haven't stepped into your own sovereignty before, you haven't stepped up and taken the lead before. There's something about you moving into very new territory. Now, it's loaded with promise and abundance, and you're meant to be stretching and expanding into a space of your fullest potential. So your situation, as I'm seeing it, is unfolding in a really powerfully, amazingly positive way. But there's definitely some kind of opposition to this. And maybe that's what's brought you to this reading. I don't know. Let's get more information. May we kindly ask for more information? We have the Six of Pentacles, so we've got a card of generosity here. We have the Four of Cups. Cups. Okay. Look at him sitting in stillness with this beautiful, beautiful Celtic knot above. And then the same tree we see. So we've got the Four of Cups and then we have the King of Cups. Look at the honey, the nectar coming out of the tree and dripping into his cup. You are in a situation where some form, I would venture to say, of great prosperity and abundance is coming to you. And I think your situation is unfolding in that direction. And I actually think you're meant to possibly, or the reading is suggesting, that this is the direction you're meant to follow. Now, whether that opposition is from within you, with the card of grief, maybe you have to let go of something in order to assume this pathway, to follow it through. Maybe you have to let go of something that you thought would be a particular way, or whatever it is. Maybe there's a grieving process to go through. But we're seeing so much guidance, abundance, you taking charge. It's like you taking charge of your destiny, of your pathway, liberating yourself from limiting, well, I'm going to say it could be a limiting belief, but also limiting circumstances. Tread gently, be careful, be gentle with yourself. I wonder with the Seven of Wands whether some of these could be your inner demons, but I also do think there could be envy. Perhaps there's as you step up into success, people view you differently. It's quite hard, isn't it? If you suddenly became very, very, very successful overnight, people that people will be drawn to you. Some of them will be drawn to you for the wrong reasons, and you need to handle that carefully. What else are we being shown here? How will your situation pan out? We've got the King of Wands. Wow, you've got two kings. We are seriously in the realm of amazingness and sovereignty. We also have the Nine of Wands. Now, the Nine of Wands is a card of challenge. And the boar, the wild boar, it indicates courage. I think you are in a situation where you need to have the courage of your own convictions. There is an opportunity in front of you that I think either abundance is coming to you and you need to choose where you're going to invest that abundance, or a doorway is opening that is leading to abundance. And again, you need to choose to invest your time, your energy in the direction that you want to go in. Both of these cards, these green, they are part of the green chakra, which is the heart chakra. This is about you pursuing what you love. I think everything here is telling me that you're going to be extremely successful. Success is either coming to you already, or you are stepping up into a pathway of success. Just tread carefully, because for some reason there is some energy around you of maybe people who would be either jealous, envious. Sometimes with the Four of Cups as well, I'm seeing you really getting centered and you're very thoughtful. Maybe you need to be thoughtful about who you share this with. Again, it's how thoughtful are you about navigating? Supposing, my beautiful souls, you got offered you were headhunted, you got offered the job of a lifetime. And it's an amazing, it's 6 times your current salary. But you know that you're going to have to hand your notice in, or you know you've got to work something out. There's something about approaching this really, really mindfully. So that, because there'll be people around you who are mega envious of you. May I kindly ask, how will this situation unfold? The Hanged Man, take your time. Whatever your situation, my beautiful pile twos, firstly what we're being shown is that this is a route to something absolutely wonderful. So it is definitely worth pursuing. However, pursue it with humbleness and pursue it gently, carefully, thoughtfully. Take it one step at a time. And even though success comes, don't rush to... It's kind of like if you got the lottery win, it's like don't spend it all at once. It's like just think carefully. You could just rush out and tell everybody, well, actually that's probably not a good idea. If you win the lottery, it's not a good idea to tell everybody because everyone's going to want their piece in it. There's something about really keeping your counsel, giving yourself the greatest permission in the world to fully expand into your potential, but take complete charge. It's really, really clear. Take charge of your situation. Own your right and entitlement to choose. But also do so with kind of tender footsteps. Think about, how people are going to respond to you. Take it steady, one step at a time. Literally, this is not a time to reveal all to everybody. It really, really isn't. Maybe ask for any additional guidance as to how this will unfold. What's the outcome? Let's get a sneaky peek into the future in terms of where this goes, because this is such an interesting energy, this jewel in the crown, the stepping into leadership, your own sovereignty, taking an ownership of where you want to go, what you want to invest and where. Seven of Swords. This is a card that indicates sometimes, look at you gathering your swords at the dead of night. And the pathway, and look at the deer. Three of Wands. And the card of Strength. Absolutely. I just want to say, have the courage of your convictions. There's definitely something that is absolutely 1,000% worthy of following, of investing in, of stepping up into. Simply be careful and thoughtful about how you approach it. This is definitely not a time to reveal your cards to everyone. Do what makes your heart sing. The Hermit, but absolutely do it very, very thoughtfully and very, almost want to say privately and carefully. Gosh, lots of cards. I think that might be, well, I'm going to go with it. They've come out. Page of Wands, more than I thought. We then have Temperance, and the Knight of Wands showing up. Well, what a beautiful affirmation. They were more cards than I had expected, but we move through the page, through Temperance to the Knight of Wands. Everything will come back into balance. What's going to happen is, I think as you pursue whatever it is that you want to pursue, whatever this offer is, as you pursue it, I do think it does mean that there will be quite significant changes in your world. But I think they're going to move forwards quite quickly. And there will be a point in time when your world will sort of almost level out with Temperance. It's a card of great balance, also often of divine guidance. It can indicate a really heavenly, sort of well-balanced match with something, like a perfect fit with something. And I think there'll come a time when you can be visibly seen. But right now, this is like strategic planning. Move ahead carefully, thoughtfully, with strategic planning, but don't advertise to the world what you are doing. Don't put it out there too quickly. Be strategic in your planning, and then when you are ready, the time will come, and I don't think it's a million miles away. The time will come when you can go, da-da, or, perhaps not if you've had a lottery win, but certainly you can go, da-da, here it is. There will come a time when this can move forwards, but for some reason right now, you're being advised to be guarded and thoughtful about how you move forwards. And it's not about you not doing what you want, far from it. It's about who you share it with. Basically, I think as well, you don't want to invite any negativity, envy, jealousy, toxicity into your world at a time when you are investing in something, in your future, and in a future that is going to be utterly amazing for you. So simply take your time, invest in what you are doing, do it quietly, be strategic, plan, and let it evolve. And then there will come a time when you can sort of announce where you are, because you're there. It's almost like delivering something as a fait accompli. You know, done, here it is, rather than I'm thinking of doing this, and then someone puts their oar in or says, well, I don't think you should do this, or how about doing it that way, or you don't want any takeover bits in this. You really, really don't. You don't want anybody else's agenda in this. What you need is the purity of your own intent, and then navigating carefully with the awareness that there are people around you who would be very envious or have their own agenda. Navigate through those, and when you are beyond, that's it. Done, it's there, it's created, it's done. That's when you can actually then do something. It would be like navigating to a different career, or, you know, moving to a different location, but your neighbours don't want you to go. It's all this kind of flavour. So your situation is going to unfold spectacularly. There is something heavenly. I do think it involves a loss. I don't think it's a loss that is challenging, majorly challenging for you as such, though I do think it involves some kind of potential loss. But I think there will be a loss of you because your current circumstances have people around you who are happy with things as they are. And I think your change, your transformation, your joy, your abundance, your everything that you are moving into that's perfect for you will not be what everybody else wants. And therefore, treading carefully is advised. But this will be the jewel in your crown, or you will be the jewel in your own crown. This is really taking charge and following your own pathway and doing what's right for you. I mean, look at the way this pathway is lit up by the stag here, the deer. It's stunning. Be loyal to yourself. Have the courage of your own convictions. Pile 2. Beautiful souls, this is your reading. I'm sending you all the love in the world. Keep me posted. Let me know how this unfolds. I am so excited for you. Tons and tons of love, beautiful souls. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. How will your situation unfold? Earth above, thunder below, returning. I think whatever happens, it's a big turnaround. We have labradorite. I will read to you from this book in just a moment. Look at that beautiful rainbow colour, which of course is very present within labradorite. Very much an energy of abundance. Take the lead. Ooh, okay. Gosh, this has got quite a zingy kind of, a zingy kind of energy about it. This, I think maybe you're meant to initiate something. We have instinct. We have wisdom. We have self-worth. Okay. Take the lead, labradorite. Let me read you about labradorite. Okay, we have labradorite. Telepathic communication, prophecy, auras, energy. You will soon see that a particular situation, okay, how will your situation unfold? A particular situation that is causing concern and preventing you from moving forwards is due to fear. This realization is in itself a breakthrough. By acknowledging your fear, you transcend it and a whole new vista becomes visible. Soon, fear will no longer obstruct you and you will move forwards in leaps and bounds. As you begin to achieve your goals, you will realize that you can communicate with others telepathically and that this form of communication can influence events in a positive way. By bringing your focus within, it is possible to energetically connect and and communicate with everyone and everything upon this planet. You will gain invaluable insights which will help you focus your attention on that which will be of greater good for all concerned, including yourself. This is an exciting and wondrous time for you. However, you are being cautioned not to abuse this newfound gift and to remember to always act through love and for the greater good for all. Wow. You are being upgraded and elevated, which is unbelievably exciting. Your instincts are becoming heightened. You can apply this upgrade to assist your situation. Now, the returning card, on one level, I think it is literally telling us that you are returning to yourself. You are discovering who you are. You are, as we are all made, as Carl Sagan said, we are all made of star stuff. This is like discovering that you are a light being, but not just sort of knowing it as a concept. It's like discovering how to actually use that in real terms. I'm even seeing this sort of like beam me up, Scotty. This sort of like beam me up, Scotty, I'm in trouble. If you're not a star, if you've never watched Star Trek, that probably won't mean much to you, but it is really reminding me of a situation actually, which made me giggle. I'm going back to when I was quite young actually, and I heard of somebody, they were actually in court. They'd done something wrong basically, and they were in court, and I think the judge actually said to them, "Have you got anything to say?" And this person pulled out a sort of a phone from inside their pocket. In fact, couldn't have been a mobile phone because we didn't have mobile phones, but they pulled something out of their pocket and said, "Beam me up, Scotty, I'm in trouble," which made everybody laugh, but probably not the judge at the time. But anyway, there's something about you being able to change the course of something. Knowing this is about you learning how to use skills that you are rediscovering, that you are returning to. This is really powerful, and you can use them to take the lead and bring about harmony. Look at these two people coming together. Now, whatever your situation, if there is any form of challenge or conflict around you, which I suspect there may be, whatever that may be, you can change this, okay? And you can change it through the power of your mind. You can change it with wisdom. You can change it with insight. It needs to be for the higher good for everyone, but you can take the lead. And you can do this in a really extraordinary way. There's some things that I could talk to you about. In fact, I will. Bear with me. Let me just draw your tarot cards first. Just give you some extraordinary examples of how this has sort of been worked through therapeutically. That card definitely wishes to come through. Okay. So if you're new to my channel, you won't know that in my mainstream career, I was a psychotherapist for a long, long time. Although I've always read cards. Now, I have explored so many different therapeutic models because it's just something we do when we're on that journey, and it is an amazing journey. I've integrated these kinds of many techniques. I'm integrating them into my tarot course training because we can combine things. We can combine spirituality with so many of our mainstream sort of understandings. Now, there are two methods of therapy that are quite remarkable that work in a way that uses this kind of essence. One of them is called the Hellinger technique, where a group of people come together, and there'll be a therapist who leads the group, but somebody will present a problem, and people step up and role play all the different characters of those people, and they talk it through. And while they sit and represent the different characters in that scenario, and they talk it through till they find a resolution, guided by the group leader. And what you find when you come away is that situation gets resolved. It's been resolved through the ethers, with different people taking on the role. It's almost like they take on the role of being the different characters, excuse me, in those scenarios. And within those different scenarios and those different characters, because those people are part of a group, they almost step into the higher selves of those people and work it through on that higher level. And this works again and again and again and again. It has been recorded, it's been tested, it's been tried for years. The other method that uses these things is something called the Pesso-Boyden method, which is also kind of draws, I think, on shamanic techniques, where again within a very specific piece of work, certain things are understood and tested and tried. Different people step in to role play different characters to create changes and shifts. We use objects. I belonged to a Pesso-Boyden group for many years because I was blown away by how incredibly amazing it is in resolving trauma and in enabling people to heal from trauma. It's been used, globally, that method, to heal really significant trauma in people. So those are two methods that almost use this. You have the capacity, my beautiful soul, to begin to almost embody these kinds of skills. If any of you are doing any kind of shamanic training, if any of you are on my course actually, and you're starting to connect with these different methods of working as you navigate through the course, it's recognizing that we have an ability to tune into the ethers and align with energy and also shape-shift energy, but we must do it for the highest good. It's why on my course we work with an ethical framework, and we recognize we are only ever here in service and for the highest good. We cannot use our skills to do anything otherwise. But my apologies if I'm sort of digressing, but I'm slightly blown away by your reading, if I'm truly honest. You are returning to yourself. You are finding these skills within yourself. Take the lead. Whatever this situation, how will your situation unfold? I kind of think that you can create the pathway of unfolding. Let's see what we have in your tarot cards. Page of Swords, Knight of Wands. We have the Devil. We have the Emperor. Absolutely, you can take the lead. We have the Six of Wands, which is a card of profound success. The King of Wands, this is a card of transformation. Again, leadership. Knight of Wands means you can activate things. This is the creative spark. It's about energy. Make a decision with the Page of Swords. We've got the Eight of Cups. We've got the Tower. And we have the Empress. Wow, you've got the Emperor and the Empress. Let me move all these cards along. Right, this is really clear. You can actually turn this around. You can create this change. Now, that may be seeming like a really tall order, but you can literally do this. I think you can literally transform this situation. Now, for some of you, it may mean that you cut some cords. You actually do choose to walk away from something. If you are walking away from something, you can cut those cords gracefully. If there is a situation that you've struggled to let go of, historically, again, trauma, if there's something that you're still going over and over and over, take the lead, cut the cords, choose not to. There's something that you can do here. Like the Page of Swords energy is kind of, it's quite youthful. This could be something that you're not used to taking the lead, not used to stepping up into your own position of choice within something. But you can break a cycle here. You can create the change. And there's definitely the breaking of a cycle. If any of you are dealing with generational trauma, if there's a pattern that is unfolding and you're thinking, how will this situation unfold? Well, actually, how you choose to respond to this situation will change the course of the events. If you choose not to buy into something, you can change the way that you can change the outcome. I'm seeing the most positive outcome possible here with the Empress and the Emperor. You can literally transform this. I think this is very much about you owning your own entitlement and right to choose, owning your own empowerment, really acknowledging that your thinking patterns, that your thoughts, the inner workings of your mind, and indeed the essence and energy of your heart can shift and change an outcome. You have Six of Wands, which is the card of success. I'm going to say to you, in terms of this reading, how will this situation unfold? What do you want? What do you want to unfold, my beautiful pile 3? Ask yourself that question and write it down. Get really, really clear. Write the ending that you want. Write down the desired outcome, whatever that is. Remember, you do not have conscious free will and choice over others, but you can exert peace and harmony because that's for the highest good if there's a conflict or a resolution that's needed. If you are, let's say you're in love with someone, you can't make somebody else be in love with you, but you could ask for a fruitful outcome. And if that person isn't the right person for you, for somebody just like them to come along for you. We can't exert power and control over others. But this is about you definitely stepping up, cutting cords to any negativity. I think this really is like almost an extraordinary, it is your extraordinary capacity to take an ownership of your full self-mastery of your own energy. Whatever the outcome, write it down. Write the ending that you want. Write that happy ending with the version of the story that is for the highest good for all. And then meditate upon it and really take an ownership of it and ask for guidance to show you, to be guided, to show you the way. If you are in a tricky situation where you feel like you are stuck or you've got something wrong and you don't know how to change it, just think about the outcome you desire. Don't dwell on what's gone wrong. Dwell on the outcome you desire. You have the capacity to change this. This is a very extraordinary reading. I am going to ask for a sneaky peek into this or any more information or guidance. Okay, so you have the Death card. Wow, you can transform this. You can put something behind. You can rebirth from this. King of Cups. And you can get the outcome you desire. Look at the nectar, the honey dripping out of this beautiful tree into your cup. This is really powerful. As long as your outcome is for the highest good for all parties involved, I think you'll get what you want. It's really quite amazing. Just focus on what you desire. And then I'm going to say 4 of Pentacles. How interesting. Look at the way he's blindfolded. I don't think you have to know the route to get there. I think you've kind of got to trust. You've got to hold that vision of what you want without necessarily knowing exactly how you're going to get there. Just trust you're going to get there. Trust that the way will be shown. Don't hold on to any negativity. Just hold on to the version of events you desire. 8 of Pentacles. And you will have to take some action with the 8 of Pentacles. But the way will be shown. It's like take it step by step. The way will be shown to you. It will become clear to you. The route will be shown. Yeah, look at this, the 9 of Pentacles. Just immerse yourself in the process. You're going to get the desired outcome. You're going to get what you desire. This is going to happen as long as you yourself focus on your desired outcome and get really, really clear about it. I sort of almost feel we don't need to get any more cards, but I feel like we've got space for a couple more. Let's draw some for you and see what we're shown. Ace of Wands, I mean, you could not have a greater card of empowerment. This is passion, this is drive. You will need to take action. But again, don't hold back. If you already know what you want, if this is a reading that's saying you already know what you want, why aren't you going for it? Then focus on the outcome and do it. This is like, come on, go for it. You can have this. Finally, we have the 5 of Pentacles. What a reflective card. I see this as a card of being in the dream time. Now, the 5 of Pentacles can indicate a time of, I guess it's like a point of of choice. I mean, the fives do tend to indicate a choice. It can also indicate a fear of losing something, of something not working out the way you want it to. Perhaps some of you aren't moving forwards because you're afraid that you'll get a no. You're afraid that you'll get a rejection, or you're afraid that you won't get the desired outcome. This is saying go for it and you'll get the desired outcome. You simply need to imagine it and hold it in your mind. Whatever this is for you, this is a reading of the most profound empowerment. Hold your outcome in mind. Be prepared to take action. You'll be shown what you need to do. Take it step by step. Keep your focus on the outcome you desire. Have the courage to go for it. I kind of want to, I don't even know whether it's courage. I just feel it's like just own what you want, for the highest good for everyone, and it's going to emerge in your favor. This is all about you shape-shifting the energy and becoming an active creator. This is quite mind-blowing. It really is, pile 3. Beautiful souls, this is your reading. I don't think there's any more to come through for you today. I am sending you all the love in the world. Do please literally send, let me know in the comments what's going on. This is so profound. And yeah, I know from those therapeutic models, there are, this has been tried and tested over years and years and years. And, I know in the PESO method, people often say, it's bonkers, but it works, because people are like, how did that work? But it does work. We are just learning as a humanity of our profound capacity to actually develop self-mastery and change the shape of our world, but for the better. And I do think it's for the better. In a way, if we hold a lower vibrational intent, it is far less likely to come through. I don't think when you are trying to manifest, the lower the vibration of your intent, the more slowly it's likely to happen, and the less likely it's going to happen, or indeed it'll come right back at you. Because, high vibrational intent carries a high vibration of energy. It can transform quickly and sparkily and magically. If you set forth with a low vibration, and your intent is not for the highest good for everyone. I sometimes think, even in a reading, if you did a reading that was not for the highest good of all, I'm not convinced you get accurate information. Often you'll just get a mirror of what you need to see. So I do feel this is all about your own empowerment and for the highest good. So just, wow, your growth is exponential, and your capacity, therefore, to manifest and to come through any situation and to get your desired outcome for the highest good for all is just mind-blowing. Pile 3, tons of love. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, all of your comments. Thank you for being here. Tons of love.